36. All right, so Monday, June 5th at 5:36, we're calling the planning board of Port Lavaca to order. First. Yeah, everything's been done in accordance with Open Meetings Act. We're good, everything's posted. We need to review the May 2023 meeting minutes. Everybody got those in their packet. I don't know if you guys had a chance to peruse those. Let's see. Pull that up right now. I have a little problem with that. Okay. Anybody notice anything on the meeting minutes needed adjustment or? We good. Did you look through them yet, Betty?
I did.
Okay. Any spelling or grammar corrections for us, Tyler?
No.
Nothing? Okay, so I guess motion to approve those minutes. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, let's move on there then. We are going to item number 2, discuss the approval for a variance to the ordinance section 1244, building setback for block 1, lot 37 of Berkshire Edition, 1615 Burkdale Drive, ID 19116. What do you got for us?
Okay, first of all, you're gonna have to excuse me for my voice. It goes and decides when it wants to work or not.
All right, you want me to read through the packet? I got it on my phone if that helps.
Well, what I've got here, I don't know if y'all been able to look at the memo.
Yeah.
They're requesting the setback for the front yard to be lessened. When I went out and measured it, they had already started construction before they pulled permits, so they got the columns up. And from the columns closest to the road to the back of curb, on one side it's 12 foot and on the other side it's 26.5 feet back of curb. Yeah, and that's one of the issues that they're having is because of the way that road, it's, that cul-de-sac, they're right in the middle of that cul-de-sac.
This is not a through traffic road, so this is similar to some of the other stuff we've seen, like.
They're right on the end.
Yeah.
You can see other driveway,
Okay.
and that's the columns that have already been built.
Oh, okay.
This is the end of the road.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it pulled up here.
Yeah, I got it pulled up. That doesn't seem to be an issue.
And the way their drive is.
So they're not gonna be obscuring any kind of traffic. They're all. Yeah.
What's this other picture of an existing carport that's already there? This one here.
That's showing one that's about 2 houses down.
Okay.
And that was one of the things in my memo. I don't see any issues with approving of the request due to the fact that there are a few houses not too far from there that are going to have the same setbacks.
Mhm.
Less than
Is what
45.
they're requesting.
It's not a non-standard thing we've seen in. Somebody has like a non-through traffic road and they're trying to improve the front, usually carports, non-enclosed fully. The thing here would be that we're looking at a carport. This isn't gonna have walls and
No side.
There's not gonna be any kind of amenities or anything. So just a carport extension into the easements we've seen before. So I think that's pretty standard. Plus,
But like I said, it's the same setbacks as some of the other houses right there, not too far from it.
it kind of meets the style of the neighborhood back there now. It looks like they've got all the paperwork. They've got you the drawings. This is just kind of a rock and a hard place. But yeah, they definitely should have got the permit. We could have got this done pretty snappy there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good find. Glad to have it on record. I got no problem since we already have kind of established a bit of a precedent for this kind of stuff in that area. On through traffic roads, carports unenclosed. As long as they keep with the letter of that, I'd be happy to.
Right. Make a motion to approve.
Okay, got a motion.
There it is.
Seconded.
Second, Betty. All right, all in favor, aye. All right, let's move on. Item number 3, consider and discuss approval for a conceptual 2-story, single-family dwelling and restaurant with a variance request to the ordinance chapter 48, division 3, off-street parking and loading, section 48106 and 48107 to be located at 212 South Commerce Street. Matt, I think we've looked at this property before.
Yes, for the first phase of it.
That was concrete and the uphill.
Right, and the retaining wall.
Right, in the retaining. They weren't gonna be able to augment the property.
Yeah. They can't park on 238.
Yeah, I think we had, last time we talked about this, we talked about it. They tried to put the parking, but it was encroaching the city easement, and we got that sorted out now.
Well, she did, the applicant did talk to TxDOT, and they don't have any issues with them using the parking.
Parallel,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Okay.
But however, the other issue is that's not considered as off-street parking.
That'd be on.
Let's see, I believe for the size of structure that is proposed, that's a 2-story.
Mhm.
The restaurant requires 15 off-street and the residence upstairs requires 2. So that's 17 total.
We have 11 here.
And they only have room for 11
Mm.
and 2 of them are going to be ADA compliant.
Right, so they're trying to offload up to 6 spaces onto the street. Minimum to meet this.
Well, they're just requesting a variance to the off-street parking requirement. There is other parking in that area further, by the nautical landings in that area.
I do know Nautical Landing, some of that area is looking to be closed in, so that won't necessarily continue to be parking.
Right.
Not so distant.
And the rest of the area is city or private.
It's still gonna have parking there. It's just not gonna be as wide open as it is now. It'll
Derek,
be one way. Yes.
what's gonna happen if we go through with the envisioning and all that on that?
Yeah, that could be on a
That street.
plaza that's not necessarily a parking plaza. The vision.
They didn't consider it in the vision, did they?
Yeah, on
This
this,
restaurant.
no, the vision committee had that section possibly as a plaza that wouldn't be parking
Right.
accessible. So offloading them to a city property parking isn't necessarily a permanent solution.
Well, the plaza, I believe that you're referring to is up top across from Nautical Landings. It'd be to the. It would be to the east,
Yeah.
across that street. So it's further down. It's a block
Right.
away.
Well, I know there's another building there that used to be the O'Neill's.
Mhm.
And they were using some of that downhill parking and some parking in Nautical Landings, and it ended up getting pretty full. And I know they're opening that place again. Yeah, so I'm just worried about the full impact of that street as well.
It was
as-
packed.
I don't mind having-
It was packed. It was-
Another business down there sounds
Busy.
good, but I'm wondering if they're not
Yeah, so
overspaced.
I don't remember the name of the company, but it's a business that's already here in town that they do, it's a coffee shop.
Yeah, the,
Yeah,
I think
but they're gonna be having liquor now.
it's a wine bar.
Uh-huh.
That's an existing building that already has a parking oversaturation problem. And so I'm wondering, this is gonna be 44 more potential people. I don't know.
does the city have any plans for that strip of land from the bulkhead? That is city property and
I know
You
that
walked in just in time.
Where?
Over on Commerce, the city property.
we're talking about
The
right
future
there, all
plans.
the landings and the strip that we're talking about having a boardwalk, bulkhead, combo at one point. That was a problem. I know last time we talked about y'all's parking situation. Downhill, we were talking about it encroaching the city area, the boardwalk. We originally had like a no.
No, we've got 30-foot public access.
Okay.
way through there. And, when we looked at this before, yeah, the stipulation was that, they couldn't park out into the easement.
Right,
You know, the access easement. So any parking would have to be on site.
Okay.
The plan for that area, as shown in the downtown master plan, is consistent with what we're looking at here. Now, that plan shows that access road is a one-way
Mhm.
And a dead end, right?
direction. Actually, they're showing to have access from Leona, I think. Which there's not a road there now. They're showing to close off Live Oak and bring it down the next block and bring a road up. You could also, you know, I don't know whether you could. Another option would be to go up the hill up to, you know, Austin. One section of Austin and Commerce somehow.
Yeah, it's a little thinner out
Again,
there.
it would just be, it would not be two-way traffic, it would be one.
Mhm.
And in reality, the more I look at it, I think what we're gonna need to do is we do want to continue that 10-foot wide, shared use path across there, but it's probably gonna make more sense to build like a dock, have it extend out into the water and
For the walkway.
Instead of going in. Okay.
seawall.
Yeah.
Be caught, because then that will offer us an opportunity to then have dock space for whatever we have
potential pull-up.
recreational needs.
Right, we talked about some of that. I look at the plan and it's kind of a significant amount of parking spaces missing, but I kind of worry that area is going to change within the next couple of years.
Well, I
Make
think
it
that,
even harder for them to have enough room for their customers.
well, what we're to recognize is that we need development down there.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Um,
I'm just concerned about room.
We're wanting to develop that.
Okay, yeah, it's 30 foot, 30.
So,
Yes, sir.
it's unrealistic, there's no way that anything down there is gonna have adequate on-site.
30 foot easy.
You're gonna have
Here.
ADA parking,
There's a
and what we might be able to get, but we're gonna have to recognize that we're gonna have. There's gonna have to be other public park.
Right.
So we've got, public parking along Commerce Street, Main Street. I mean, we now have done, step one. Fortunately, TxDOT did that for us, and we have provided safe sidewalks where people can park along Commerce and have safe pedestrian way to walk over to a restaurant or some development over there. But, at some point, we need, have a conversation and recognize that, like, the parking area behind National Landings needs to be established, at least in part, as public parking.
That's kind of I'm worried if we attribute all of our public parking to one entity down there, then we're kind of hog tying ourselves for the future. But if we're expecting an expansion in the public parking up and down
And
Commerce.
it's not dedicating like this.
Right.
This business gets these spaces and this business, no, we're just
Right.
providing some public parking. I mean, you look at, other cities, tourist towns, all their little touristy shops do not have
Right.
on-site parking.
Like Main Street right around the corner is notoriously overpacked at one
Yeah,
time.
Park somewhere and you walk.
Right. So that's.
Pedestrian, travel. So that's, in my mind, that's the key, that, that, people aren't gonna be able to park right there at the restaurant and get out and walk in the front door.
Yes.
They're, that's just not how it works.
That in mind, are we okay with the less space then? They're supposed to have what, 17 spaces?
Yeah, it's gonna be 11 versus.
11 versus.
It's that, it would require a variance with the understanding that the balance would be done, allowed
Communal.
on the street. And, my mind, suggestion to council to consider, said at least part of creating parking available in the area. I mean, it's not just this I mean, we know that the building right next to it, there used to be O'Neill's, and this is being renovated right now. And it was already in the process. I mean, that facility doesn't have adequate on-site either. So the combination of, the area behind Nautical Landings as well as the area near where Four Boys, all that establishing public parking space.
Well, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yes, I did. Previously, when I'm open, they were approved parking, which we're asking for right now. That this variance, they were given a variance to park on top of the parking. What we're asking for. And we're just asking for, I believe, how many are we short there? 5.
Yes.
So that's what we're requesting, and we have 2 lots there, so. So we're requesting at least 5 on top.
Offsite.
Awesome.
We typically don't have control over text dot.
No.
So that's just overflow for accessory.
Essentially, according to the ordinance, we're required X number of spaces.
Right,
She's providing Y number of spaces.
right.
So we're approving the development with this lesser amount with the understanding the balance is gonna be available by nearby public park.
Right,
Yeah,
so
but-
so the established hardship is that the lot is, one, split topographically.
Yeah.
And 2, it's along an established highway and right along the water, so the location of the lot in conjunction with the, hopeful availability of public parking alleviates that problem.
And the key to remember too is, the parking that's being available on site and below is, they are able to get to the upper level because we've got the elevator.
We have an elevator, we also have a stairs.
But one of the things is,
So entrance also in the, when they do park there. And I really wanted to keep that. I can't keep it that, but I'm trying to keep that just for like a handicap.
Yeah, that would be the designated
Right.
area. If you have to have 1 for 25, it's over.
Mhm.
so the 238 parking on Commerce Street is gonna be public parking.
Right,
It can't be dedicated.
It cannot be dedicated.
yeah, no, we can't.
It's just gonna be first come.
But you can park all the way down or all the way up or on the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
opposite
yeah.
side.
Yeah, and there's
So there
really gonna be more parking once,
You know, park on Main Street.
yeah, once you start this Main Street expansion.
maybe down to the water.
Now, better this time.
That's ways through there, so it's not as burdensome. That's cool. I just, whenever you kind of establish a variance on something as extreme like parking, you have to have a pretty good rationale, or else somebody's gonna. Then they're gonna want 30 out of 100 spaces pulled, so you have to have something specifically pointed,
Yeah, we-
like topographically and logistically, they're very close to a lot of off-street.
We do know,
parking.
we do know we're gonna need a lot more parking.
Yeah. Do we have another?
Downtown.
Just a public there?
It's wide as that. 238 or that Commerce Street is right through there, it's going to be one way. There should be a way that we could. Head in parking, get more cars in that.
On Commerce? No, that's text. Commerce isn't gonna be the way Main Street, we're hoping.
I thought one Commerce is gonna be great too.
Commerce and
You're gonna have a median.
a median can be divided, yeah.
It's still too much.
There.
And there'll be a terrible
Because
on the Main Street.
we're still trying to be nice and that's.
Yes.
Part of having that median and that one-way street would kind of funnel traffic down the highway instead of down there with bigger trucks, would have a lot more trouble getting there, right?
Yeah, so they would, so
Hopefully the truck traffic will find
Yeah.
another
And,
route.
well, we actually look at.
That's if we
Right there.
street.
We talked to Texas about it. We could get a lot of people parking
No, I'm good. Awesome.
I don't think.
So is there any more discussion or questions about the lot or the impact of traffic?
I'm good with it.
We'll defer commerce to the city council at a later date, but as far as this ordinance goes, this variance goes, I think we're pretty looped in at this point. So does anybody have a motion?
I'll motion to accept it,
Approve the variance?
approve the variance.
Okay, seconded. All in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you guys very much. Now we're gonna move on to item number 4. Consider and discuss a conceptual light industrial park to be located on Alcoa Drive within the city limits of Port Lavaca. Property identification number is 40091. Legal description of the parcel is A0137 Samuel Shoot. I assume tract part 3 acres, 29.31 Port Lavaca County, Texas. So this is those buildings where we're looking.
And I do see that they are online, so.
They're here with us, okay. Might have something for them.
We have an actual location where this is. Map.
Yeah, so this is,
It's in your packet. Just a second.
Looking through them,
Yeah, there's a lot of paper.
where it is,
so there's the housing complex there,
Alcoa Drive.
the church,
Mhm.
here's the development.
Okay.
So this is about another tract away from where the exit
That's right there.
churches.
Apartments.
Yes.
Apartments there, there's a church, New Beginnings, I think, there's the apartments.
Okay.
And there's the little
Okay.
industrial park here. I think at the, just past this page marker, I think is where the outflow for Parkway is.
Okay.
But it's kind of out in the cornfield there.
On that cornfield, yeah.
Yes.
They
Okay.
have that little zigzag route right here. Yeah, that's what we're looking.
The apartments, here's the property that's in question right there.
Yeah,
Okay.
And this is where they're looking at doing the 2 buildings for right now. And that's just the beginning of the development. They do have, can you hear us?
this is Samuel Shoot. Yeah.
So what business is this? Industrial lighting?
Looks like some kind, I'm not sure if it's like machine shops or what kind of business they're gonna try to put in here.
It's like industrial park. Are you guys online?
Industrial park. I saw somebody on it earlier.
Yeah, this is Tate, the agent for Henry LeBrie. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hey,
Yes.
yeah.
Hey, good. How are you, everyone? Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty much industrial park. The first one we have our anchor pretty much for that facility is AmSpec. That we'd be bringing in. That would be the first building that's built. We'll be building 2 of them in the beginning. And as we see need or desire, then we would be building additional buildings on the acreage.
And what does AmSpec do?
They're looking at.
AmSpec is pretty much all over the world. They do the testing.
Okay. Okay, so it's gonna be about-
They're pretty much the ones that put the octane ratings on the gas pumps.
oh,
But
Okay.
Mr. LeBrie has about probably 70 properties overall, but it's a variety of buildings, commercial. I mean, there are people use office space. If you got businesses that require some office space and warehouse space, typically the buildings will be anywhere between 5,000 and 10,000 square foot.
so this first company will have technicians that go out and engage and adjust.
Yes.
Similar to a couple
So,
of the plant.
Any storage, any,
Yeah, they work
chemical
with
store.
the plants. They'll have the facility for the office area. Then they'll have a warehouse space. They'll have a separate lab space. And of course, the yard where their trucks would be, in the gate.
Okay. I mean, we've not seen a lot of development go down that way. We had a potential for, was that boat wash and storage come in on the lot next to that, I think at one point. There's just the driveway for the parkway up at the front. Really haven't had anybody looking to do any family development down there. We had one guy kind of vaguely with some small homes. There was the liquor store tried to.
With this coming in, there probably won't be any family,
Yeah, I wouldn't expect a lot of family homes.
if it's gonna be turned into industrial.
Well, and
We
that's another
we
thing
are
is
trying
on our future land use map, it is multifamily.
Yeah, I know we originally wanted to use some of those deeper tracks to put in more housing.
Mhm.
Because it's, I mean, you can even see on the parcel map that you showed us earlier, they're just taking up the front corner of that lot, kind of. Yeah, the only thing I've got to say is that it's been for sale for a very long time and nobody's taken any steps to develop any of it. I'm sure I'd like to see an apartment complex go there instead, but I'm not gonna build one, so not much I can say about that.
Well, it's just, do we want industrial sites?
There, yeah, I'd be more interested to see it in a different
then-
location, to be honest.
Yeah,
It's not ideal down Alcoa, but
You had something to say.
And I mean, what I'm envisioning is more like, I mean, it's, man, correct me if I'm wrong, there's like metal building offices
yeah.
with lay down yards type stuff.
Like the Ameripex or the West Con that we have on.
Yeah.
Main
Street.
Some of the sites that might in Victoria, you know, you're going down Delmar, some of that.
Yeah, I don't mind that so much. I hate to open it up to necessarily like a light industrial flavor. I mean, they're talking more office space and lay down yard.
Right.
It does, you know, it's more than commercial, but I'd hate to see it move into like any kind of a fab shops or meat shops or
a chemical store, you know, don't wanna.
We don't really have all that sussed out in our code right now, but there is just a little bit
That close to-
for that.
Well,
Residential.
Yeah.
technically, I don't know if I would consider this as really a light industrial park because what I envision for industrial would be for manufacturing.
Right, that's kind of why the ag light industrial catches me.
It might be, this might be considered as heavy commercial,
Heavy commercial, I would say, yeah,
but not industrial.
yeah. If this is more towards the aspects of heavy commercial, is that typically what we're talking about? Are we kind of off base there at all?
A little, it is more geared towards office space. Typically, the majority of the building would be office space, and then the
Okay.
latter of it would be warehouse space or lay down yard. So it's nothing, no kind of heavy, heavy duty commercial or anything like that. A lot of them could be that we see in a lot of the facilities. It's just, like I said, could be people that run service, service calls, service vans, and just depending on what people like. Some of it, I mean, we even have insurance agencies. I mean, we have a variety of businesses that are in these buildings. They're very tasteful, professional looking buildings, metal buildings with a facade on the front.
Exhibits
So
look nice.
it's not any kind of, cheap looking type facility. It'll be a first class, park. So.
Yeah, I'm seeing some of
Fenced
your
in.
exhibits there,
Yeah.
nice metal, a little bit of stone facade, they do look nice, I was just more concerned with the nature of the business inside, if it's similar to like the west kind of the Ameripex buildings that we're referencing just down the road, that's fine, I don't have a problem with
Do you
that.
have anybody else besides Amspec in mind, or are they lining up to get in there?
Not slated right now. We already have the letter of intent from Inspec, so we actually closed on the property last Friday. And they're our main one right now. That's why we're starting out with two. We're kind of working with Russell Kane there, who feels like, there should be no problem in filling these buildings and expanding, beyond that. So that's kind of what our plan is, to try to really help maybe bring some additional business to Port Lavaca and tax dollars and those things, and
Yeah.
have a nice professional park there. So.
Yeah, some of the contractors taking over some of the older buildings in town over the last few years has been a huge boon. I mean, we've had some buildings that were getting to the end of their life that have been kind of revitalized by kind of the business you're talking about coming in. So definitely something that we've seen move around.
As long as they remain
More in the heavy commercial side of
the
things.
heavy commercial,
Yeah,
light industrial.
I think we may just have a bit of a
I'm good.
wordplay issue here.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
But
Keep it nice and clean.
gotten that a little bit more cleared up. So as long as they're not doing any kind of heavy chemical or.
Yeah, don't belly stinky, you know what I mean? Residents wouldn't, yeah.
Well, and the good thing is obviously we would have control over who, who comes into them and those things.
Right.
So.
Yeah,
Okay, well, it's gonna have to go to council anyway, so.
Okay.
Yeah, and I could check and see, I can check with Anne Marie about, if we can control, not allowing manufacturing.
Mhm.
yeah, there was originally some stuff we had in the first zoning that had.
Well, in the zoning, we can, but
Yeah, we don't.
Right.
I'm talking about without the zoning right now with those stipulations.
They just. all Local and federal.
Yeah,
laws.
yeah, that shouldn't be too much.
And again, they're like,
Most of
they
it.
said it's not like they're selling lots, they're leasing this,
Yeah.
and they would have control over,
Yeah,
and I don't know.
and if they plan to expand and do well here, then of course, we're all gonna play nice.
They want to rent to somebody, we're all gonna hate.
Yeah, no, nobody wants to burn bridges. Okay, well then, I mean, in general, I think the concept is nice. We've kind of sussed out a few of our concerns and I think everybody's on the same page. So we want to go ahead and I'll make a motion to approve the concept and move it down the road.
I'll second.
Seconded from me. Okay, all in favor, aye?
All right.
Awesome. Look forward to that. Let's move on to item number 5. And thank you, Tate. Appreciate you.
Hey, thank y'all for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, so item number 5, consider and discuss approval of a replat and construction plan for lot 2A, block 1 of the Janiv subdivision. Is that how you do that? Okay, 1782 State Highway 35 North. So what do we have on that one? I don't think I was.
This is over by the new hotel.
Oh, okay.
And actually, they're gonna, the intent is to share the same entrance as well. Let me,
This is the.
Hey, good afternoon. This is Connor McBride with Pate
There we
Nelson
go.
on the call. How are you?
I appreciate you coming.
Connor.
Thank you.
I think when we originally looked at building this hotel, there was a little deal in front that was.
This
We're
is
gonna
part
share,
of the.
And this is that side
Potential outlots of the.
potential outlaw. So this is kind of a revamp of what we looked at originally, it looked like. Okay.
And so this is to the west of the hotel.
Yeah.
The property to the west,
yeah, here's the hotel right here.
okay,
And this is where they're proposing.
okay,
This is the entrance into the hotel right there.
off of 35.
Yeah.
That's that same Whataburger entrance, right?
Okay.
It's
It's the one.
This is where the hotel is, this is the entrance, and this is where they're proposing.
off to the side of it, yeah.
Yes.
You see,
So then the development is,
The biggest challenge on this one was the sewer.
and what are they doing here?
they want to build a little commercial building, yeah, just this. To the side,
It's gonna be, they're proposing a restaurant.
yeah,
A restaurant.
somewhere you can walk basically when you're living.
Taco Bell.
Oh, nice.
Storm sewer,
Looks like it's got a little drive through and everything.
sanitary.
Yeah.
There's a lift station there at Village Road.
Something.
No,
That's gravity flow.
I love it.
Um,
No, they're gonna have to, and I don't know what the latest, I don't know what the latest on all this is, but, I'm assuming you guys are looking at extending the sanitary sewer that goes to Hampton Inn.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. They had a stub out for us and we're picking that up. We're
Nice.
tying into
Okay.
that.
And just so any board understands, I mean, it's a private sewer, it won't be
Mhm.
public sewer, so there'll be, there'll be agreement between those landowners, for that.
Okay.
Because that.
So we don't have to have any-
sewer line to Hampton's private.
Yeah.
There's no way to make it public because part of that is within a private utility easement
Mhm.
that is. It wouldn't.
From
I
Hampton.
don't know how, no, it was from a private landowner to the owners of that property.
Mhm.
And I don't, it would be very difficult, if not impossible, to get that transferred to the city.
Right, so they're gonna have to maintain their own little.
With that, yeah, with that increased flow, it's gonna eventually go into our line somewhere.
Oh, yeah, that's not a problem.
And not a problem.
Goes into our line on Broadway.
Roadway.
Yeah, no, that's not a problem.
So we're looking at a replat and a conceptual plan. So as far as the replat goes, you're telling us there's no easements or anything that need to be put into that.
I mean, is this the first reading?
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah. So we're looking at kind of almost two items here, but
Right.
the replat, you're saying that the sewer easement is private water?
I mean, I think we would need somehow indicate that on the plat.
Yes.
It doesn't, it's, you know, how it's getting.
For future use if it ever comes
Right,
up for
and
something.
there's even on the Hampton Inns plat, it shows the easements, as you know, private easements, just need to reflect that. And actually, I mean, Hampton's property would need to reflect, because I don't remember their easement. We don't have to have, the bottom line, we just have to have documentation on that private.
Yeah, on the privates. Okay, so we need to make sure that's there. Doesn't look like any kind of setbacks or anything are being changed. I mean, it's all pretty standard stuff.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool.
we'll just need to indicate for the sanitary sewer and the storm drain,
Yeah.
storm sewer.
Yeah, and the storm sewer, I guess, are you guys working with them to utilize the detention pond, or what's your plan?
So we are connecting to their, in essence, expanding that basin. It will be a separate basin behind our site, just because we've been coordinating with the original developer, and there's some future plans for a road between, adjacent to that basin. But essentially, we're connecting to their storm sewer system. It won't be a new connection to TxDOT system. We're utilizing that same outfall, same restrictor. It'll just be providing the necessary detention volume for our site.
Okay.
Clearly, we need to have all that before we have a final plat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta comply with our whatever drainage plan. Has fire gotten through and taken a look at this yet, or?
Yes,
Yeah,
Okay. All right. See the junctions,
yeah,
parking looks good. Property looks fine.
yeah. The only thing that was brought up on the conceptual was the need for the sidewalk along the highway.
Oh, yeah.
Right here, but other than that, everything else.
I thought that's what that was up in the front.
Okay. Sidewalks right here.
Mhm.
Is that not what's written on it? Oh.
And nothing's in front of Hampton, so
yeah, that
it's
would,
on the Hampton side, right? Am I right?
do what, there's not a sidewalk in front of Hampton.
Yeah, they,
All this is proposed on the Hampton side.
it's
No, in front.
next to,
It-
yeah, it's on the-
no, yeah, it's
Opposite.
this lot.
yeah, we wouldn't be able to retroactively get Hampton concrete work. Is that gonna link up to any existing sidewalks we have?
No, not yet.
No.
Okay. I know in a couple other instances, we did something with like a bond for that, because we didn't have anything.
That's an option, but
Yeah.
you could probably, in this case, it's probably honestly easy, then just go.
It probably is. I just wasn't sure, because I know sometimes we've done that just to come back and do one contiguous sidewalk. But
But at some point, we gotta start doing that.
yeah,
We can walk from here.
yeah, it doesn't make any sense to
Yeah.
have just a
Sure does.
random chunk of sidewalk. It's the thing. So I don't know how long our sidewalk plan is from that. Or the TxDOT have any
I know,
plans.
TxDOT's gonna be coming back for their next big sidewalk project, and I'm gonna be pushing for 35.
Yeah, I would love to see that, but then they're probably gonna end up having it for a part of the sidewalk to build that.
And if it's done right. I mean, we'll need to coordinate with that stuff on exactly where we want it.
True. Okay, I guess there's a little bit of, needs to be fleshed out with a sidewalk plan, just so we don't end up pouring waste of concrete. But our department's good with it. We've got kind of record for the sewer plat.
Sewer, yeah.
That sounds fine. As far as the concept plan, restaurant next to a hotel sounds pretty standard. 35 is a great place. I got no problem with the concept.
Me neither. Sounds good.
Replat looks fine. So do we need to wrap those up as two separate items, or do we want to wrap those up together?
They can be done at the same time.
We can just do, okay, so does anybody have any comments or stipulations for this? Do I have a motion to accept item number 5
I'll make the motion.
with the suggested?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All in favor, aye.
Okay.
Aye. All right, so that is the end of our original, I don't know who seconded. Steve seconded?
I second, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's the end of our agenda items. So comments from the general public? Nothing? Anybody on?
Attention, Paul, they're talking about the hotel,
Yes.
right there next to residential area. Isn't it? Right there next to Whataburger?
No,
No, sir.
Across the street. Street to Hamilton Inn. That's where that's where I was confused.
Yeah, I know.
It's on the
Yes,
Hampton
sir.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Other side of the highway, so there shouldn't be anything.
they've got the big drainage ditch and
Pay attention on.
Yeah.
And I guess what you're saying, Connor, you guys aren't expanding that, but having separate detention. It's gonna lead to it.
It'll be connected with a pipe, but
Yeah.
it will be separate behind our site.
Apologize, I thought it was one that's going in next to Whataburger.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no problem. But no, we're across the street.
That would be a mess.
Yeah.
We wouldn't want that. Okay, so if there's no additional comments from the public, is there anything from the staff that we need to go over? Nothing new? All right, motion to adjourn.
Second.
Seconded, aye?
Aye.
All right, let's get out of here. Appreciate it, everybody.
Thank you.
Oh.